Hello and welcome to another episode of New Game Plus. I'm your host Jason, and we're still in lockdown. Things really haven't changed that badly. I'm still wearing the same clothes for a whole week. Magic of television doesn't matter. But we still have some content for you. We've got some more great stuff coming as well. But it's a bit of an interesting episode. We have Man of Medan, which is a review that we've had in the vault for a while with Megan. It was filmed for an episode that ended up getting filled with pretty sure something that was newer that we just put it in place, and then it was like crap, still in the editing rig. So we decided we are going to release that. So we've got that coming up first as a review, and also it's the launch, soft launch, I guess at this point, of our Japanese gaming brand. We wanted to start off and spin off our Japanese gaming brand. So that's Murasaki Gemu, which literally translated means purple game. Yep, committing to the bit. And so but people have asked us to kind of separate our weeb content a little bit. So we figured that we would acquiesce in that way. It means we can do some more Japanese-inspired streams. We can do a little bit more content around anime and things like that as well. So it's going to be the easiest way to keep those two things up. But you get to see our Murasaki Snack Attack, which is where me and Jack and Megan try out a bunch of Japanese snacks that I've had a few of them. They've had none of them. It's fun to watch anyway. So we hope you enjoy that. And ending on that is Cardi giving us a review of Doom. But for now, something completely different.
Hello and welcome. I'm here to talk about some movies during this time. It's obviously pretty fucked. A lot of people are out of work or at home trying to figure out the Zoom meetings and which backgrounds are appropriate but funny enough. That thin line that we're all sort of standing on. It's the sort of time where you want to find comfort in your entertainment, whether you're playing Animal Crossing, playing some other games, books, movies, TV shows. There are plenty of great things you can watch on any of the streaming services, or if you're like myself and still like physical media like that. So I've got a couple of recommendations for you. The first, Shin Godzilla, which is the latest Japanese Godzilla film. Picture the West Wing meets Godzilla. So it's also a government handling a crisis well, which is a little bit seems far-fetched in these times. Then we've got Paddington and Paddington 2. I can't not recommend them. They're fantastic. And we can't travel at the moment. So why not watch a film about two people who one person who hates where they are and one person just trying to be a good tourist in Bruges, and Martin McDowell's dark and very, very funny look at two hitmen stuck in the Belgium town. But my final recommendation is Galaxy Quest, a classic sci-fi comedy film that is phenomenal, both as a Star Trek parody and as a film about fandom. I highly recommend it. But most of all, stay connected with your friends, keep playing games, keep watching movies, keep some hope alive, and stick through it.
Now, if you're anything like me and you love narrative, story-driven games, and you're struggling to find something before the AAA onslaught later this year, then Man of Medan should be on your radar.
Okay, that sounds intriguing, but Meg, there's a question I need to know. What is a Man of Medan?
It's a great question. Well, it's a dark picture anthology title, which is a standalone horror game, one of 7 that's oncoming from the Supermassive Games.
The guys who made Until Dawn.
Correct. Now, Until Dawn is one of my favorite horror games of all time because of its multiplayer elements and the jump scare factors. It's super scary.
It was a really fun game just to have people around. Like, do you just want to, oh, what do we do? Do we go left? Do we go right? Do we jump? Like, you get what I mean?
Yes.
It was a good game to play with group.
Yes, and Supermassive have replicated the formula for a brand new Ghosts and Ghouls game as well. So you can play as one of 5 characters and who are all experiencing the same story. But essentially, the game sets you up with a bit of a prelude set in World War II on a Navy ship as you're one of the soldiers that have been fighting in the war, and you wake up in the sickbay and all your other fellow soldiers are dead. So I guess it kind of sets you up for like, who killed them, what killed them, and then you see the ship sink.
Okay,
so essentially, we set back into modern day. We see these teenagers that are, hanging out, about to go on a boat trip, and they're actually going out to have a look at a shipwreck, which so happens to be the one that crashes in the water.
Okay, and shenanigans ensue.
Yes, exactly. So they want to go and explore this shipwreck and screw the laws. You have to get permits, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to do it anyway, and they discover all these dead bodies under the water, and it's really exciting and lots of jump scares.
Okay, I like me some jump scares.
Yes.
I like me to be freaked out, but how does it play?
essentially, you can play on a PlayStation 4 controller. I played it on PlayStation 4. It's on all consoles except for Switch. And you can pretty much just pass it across to your friend if you want to play multiplayer. So you don't have to buy anything new, which is really great.
All right, okay, that sounds intriguing.
I guess its shtick is the fact that you can play in a group of people, have a couple, up to 5 players and stuff, and like rotate the controller around, which is excellent. Their previous game called Hidden Agenda actually used an app to narrate through that process, and it was a really refreshing way to do it. But my thing is I guess the gameplay, it only goes for about 5 hours. The narrative takes you that long to play through. So it's a really good party vibe, nice and short sort of setting, and to really punch through it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I'm still here.
Oh, hey,
yes.
Jess,
Hi.
what's up?
I was on my phone. Doesn't matter. I guess a question for you,
Working
though.
hard, hardly working.
So I come at it from the David Cage, the anti-David Cage crew, right?
Yes.
Like, fuck David Cage, in the bin.
Okay,
In the bin.
all right.
Right. So Until Dawn always seemed like a kind of a better version of what he tried to do. Like, it seemed like a more kind of thing. Is it still that same kind of, like, clunky, walking around, experience this little cutscene, kind of like borderline point-and-click adventure kind of game still? Is that the kind of the style, or is it?
You've definitely nailed it, unfortunately. The clunk factor is real, and I think what they do really well is they sort of set up this relationship spectrum. So as you choose your own adventure and choose your narrative, there's a direct impact on the relationships that are developing between characters. So even though it's clunky, finding your way around and discovering those things, there are other elements that like really shine to make that less of a problem.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess the other thing as well, because you mentioned it before we started, that it's what's it called, multiplex mode, where it's like
so basically you have like a movie night mode where every character in the game can be assigned to like a number of players. So let's say you've got 6 people coming in. Yeah. You can have all the characters kind of assigned to a player. So let's say
give them nicknames.
So basically, so let's say you're playing and you do something with your character that's, look, it's something you want to do, but later on down the line, let's say if Meg or myself are playing, it may affect their character.
Yeah, the ripple effect is really conscious.
It's like, well, thanks, Jason, but also it means that it creates this kind of this weird tension, and I think it's a brilliant idea for a multiplayer game. I think that's really, really clever.
It's sick because there's like 69 different deaths that you can experience, and you can actually kill everybody. So you just don't know what dialogue choices and the ripple effects that are going to occur. I guess one thing I will note is that in typical games like this, it is heavily reliant on quick time events to judge your skill set and how everything unfolds, which is fine. It's, I guess, for a casual setting, it's pretty efficient.
Because I guess it sounds to me like it still has a lot of those kind of similar. It follows that formula similar enough, but it does enough kind of interesting things to attach to the community that it wants to attach to.
Correct. The motion capture in this as well is really impressive, and they've actually got a bit of a cameo with Sean Ashmore from Animals. Yeah, Quantum Break, exactly.
I'll say, it's his second game.
It's a really nice thing to sort of feature.
X-Men, but Quantum Break, really.
Yeah, the dialogue is a little bit cheesy, and it has that teen slasher vibe, which I'm so fine with. It's refreshing, but it isn't as premium as the Until Dawn feeling. But you definitely shouldn't miss it. It's really worth picking up.
I guess because Namco done this one as opposed to being Sony.
Correct.
Is it a full price title, or is it Okay, but I think for what they're going for, I mean, that's good.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a $40 price point.
If it's X amount, you're playing it with your mates, and it's that silly party vibe, and also it'd be a good stream game by the sounds of it.
Correct.
I mean?
Absolutely.
That was one of the appeals of Until Dawn, was just like putting it out there and just seeing what kind of choices you can make. And I imagine
the jump scares are so good.
It just seems like the logical evolution of that, which I think is really clever.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay. Let's be clear. You're not going to sell me on David Cage style games, but it does sound like at least they've taken where he always falls down, and he always falls down.
Yeah.
And done at least something a little bit different, and tried not to be as grandiose and feel emotions like he decided to do. Like, it seems like they've actually kind of streamlined the experience to get the most out of the medium that they're trying to do.
Exactly.
Fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely fair. I guess the narration really carries it, and it's one not to be missed. I had a really great time playing it.
Okay.
Hello, welcome to, I guess, one of the first segments we filmed for our new branch, Murasaki Gaming. Now, do you know what Murasaki Gaming stands for?
I do.
That's correct answer.
That's pretty much how this season's going to go.
Yes.
What does it stand for?
It is purple game.
Purple game, correct.
Which is I mean, look, have you looked at the New Game Plus logo? That's
It's
pretty
something
much...
that was said to me at the TGS once.
I get it now.
So
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys.
Just purple game, literally purple game. So I got Jack in, who's
right.
been to the glorious Nihon. Have you been to Japan?
I certainly have.
Yeah, you were talking about, it's super safe to
Evo
like, whoa.
Japan, what's happening, my friends?
true.
Yeah, you.
True. Did you go to the Tokyo one or the Fukuoka one?
Tokyo.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, it was well.
I want to go to Fukuoka, but I had no excuse. What we thought we'd do,
Yes.
because you have to do it when you do any kind of Japanese video, Japanese snack attack.
We've got a haul, guys.
Unboxing.
Yes. Oh, yes, unbagging.
Yeah.
I'm bagging, yeah, cool.
Bunch of potato chips. Some from Japan, some that I bought locally, but are originally from Japan.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
here for it.
All right.
I'm also really hungry. It's quite late at night, and I need
Perfect.
some snacks.
Perfect. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do the most filling one first, then.
Excellent.
Ozak, like cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Do you want to read that for the nice people?
What is that? Yeah, Ozak, Ozak?
Yeah.
Is it repeated twice?
Potato.
Potato. Cool. So
Yeah.
it's,
That's nikusa meat, cheesu burger, aji flavor.
it's a cheeseburger. with meat and
Cheeseburger
potato.
flavored chips. Now the thing you'll realize with Japanese chips, they don't actually have a lot of flavor.
Oh. So wait, am I going to be experiencing some sort of like Smith's chips, barbecue, meat pie energy?
Have you tried like the weird like bolognese or mac and cheese flavored chips?
It's more like that.
Okay.
But it's not as strong. I
Yes.
probably should clarify.
Okay, I can't wait.
They're
Can
rice
you-
chips.
Can you describe the texture and the shape of the chip, Jack, for viewers at home?
Well, I mean, we have cameras for that. It
think
is
they're-
overexposed.
Yeah.
And that was a good voice break there. Look, let's describe.
Gimme.
Go on, get in there.
Cheers.
I'm going to take a couple. Cheers. I'm confident this is going to be amazing.
I'm not.
Yum.
Better than I was expecting.
But it's definitely a rice chip.
It's light. I love I love the rice chip.
I'm surprised they say it's potato, because that is like the most thin, like, it's almost like, you know how you have like kettle chips, which are meant to be that kind of made
Yeah.
that way? This is made like a different way again.
This is oily. It's oily.
That was the other thing I was going to say, it's very oily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it is late at night. And
It's like pickles. Pickles.
Pickles?
Yep.
That's what you...
You can taste the pickle. Yeah, there's pickle in
Dude,
the end of it.
all I-
Have one more mouthful,
All I
and
can
I'll get the new one.
taste... quote that. All I can taste is just McDonald's or... How do you...
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
It doesn't smell like anything, but then you put it in your mouth and it's like infusion of pickle. Yeah, I mean,
That's the Ozark cheeseburger chips. Kelby is probably the most well known. It's probably their Smith, if you will. They've got Kelby, they've got Jaggerby, they've got all of those kind of things. Kelby, Norishio. So
I'm glad you read it, because I'm still eating.
seaweed salt, basically, made with Hokkaido potatoes.
And you love seaweed.
100% Hokkaido potatoes in the corner there.
when I was in Japan, I saw that potato mascot everywhere.
Yes.
There's like 100 different flavors of these chips.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
So this is seaweed salt. So finish that.
Okay.
Finish it.
Why are you eating this? Because you hate seaweed.
They're okay.
What?
Yeah. They're okay. Get in
Oh,
them.
they really don't look okay, gonna be honest.
This brand is available at like every takeaway 7-Eleven over there.
Yeah.
Lawson,
Family
Family Mart.
Donkey, yeah. So it's definitely got like little flecks of
Yeah.
thing in there. I don't know if you can see it. It's too
I
bright.
like
That's
this one
right.
more.
I love this one.
So this is like more like salty. It's a lot more mild than the other one. Because the other one was like a lot of flavor, and I'm like, there's a lot happening. It's kind of noisy. It's a bit all over the place.
This reminds me of
oh,
like chicken
hold on.
twisties a
Yeah.
little bit, where it's like the
Got a bit of that chicken.
ugly
Yeah.
cousin.
Sure.
I
Chicken seaweed?
Dude, I could smash that entire bag, no problem.
Well,
Agreed. See, my
I'll
problem
leave
is
that
now
there
it's
for
not
you.
big enough. That's what she said. She definitely said that.
We're doing classic.
Not a size queen, but there's a lot of air happening here.
Well, you want to go one size bigger? Kelby barbecue. That's. Do you want to read that? What does that say? Barbecue.
Yeah, no.
Fine. Barbecue flavor.
I'm a very
but
slow
it's,
reader.
it's like Japanese barbecue. You see, it's not like traditional.
Right,
It's
yeah.
like it's all
What is
Throw
this,
a few snags
what
on
is
the
this
barbie.
mascot happening here?
This
Can you
is,
show
I
the
don't know.
camera?
I think this is like the puff chips.
The baby
Let's find out.
potato.
Baby
Terrifying.
potato. You haven't done a pack shot yet.
Oh god! Right, so there's your packet.
There we go. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Love it. Fantastic.
Oh god.
Jason, have you tried these all before and you knew
No,
we should?
I've had those. That's
This
it.
is your first time
Yeah,
too?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The,
These
la-
were
the
good.
one at the end is the one that I'm most excited for.
Oh, good.
I like this, the finale piece. That's really exciting. Thank you kindly.
Barbecue, yeah. Here for
These
it.
just look like kettle, big time.
Yep.
They are pungently barbecue.
Yeah, it's a barbecue chip. Groundbreaking.
Meh. No.
What?
What? Boring.
Nah.
Boring.
Best part so far.
Boring.
No, unsubscribe. You can have
I'm
this.
more on this one.
They're only. They're,
I'll have
yeah.
it. I'll pallet cleanse.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going to pallet cleanse.
They're only okay. I'll pay that. They're only okay. All right. Well, last one. Hands down, the most excited thing I've ever been about
Yeah.
chips. Cocoa curry.
Cocoa curry.
Talk to me.
Like, so have you had cocoa curry over there?
Not, yeah.
It's a huge
Yeah,
chain.
good. Yeah.
So they made corn chips, but with cocoa curry flavor corn chips.
so
In fact, that was my favorite place to go.
Correct.
It's always open when everything else is closed.
It is the best
Hearty-
fast food
Oh.
in Japan, hands down. It's
100%.
Yep, not even close. Like as far as I'm concerned, it's not even
This
close.
speaks to me. I haven't even tried it yet.
So let's open it up. So what? I mean, does it have anything else there? It's like spicy curry.
curry.
Aji flavor. So yeah, aji. So flavor. Cool. And cocoa curry, if you are over in Japan, is the king. I still want to do a rating of all the Japanese things. I think that's
Like
one of the
food.
live streams I'll do.
I was gonna say, like, where's the gyudon shit? Like, that's what I want. Like, and you see all the
it just
businessmen
smells like
like
it straight
drinking.
away.
just-
Really, really, really?
Yeah.
Cocoa curry.
Intense. Honestly, why would you even eat Doritos when you can find these?
Oh my god. So, a Japanese food store?
Oh.
Like, where'd you get them from here in Melbourne?
No, this was special import. I got
wow.
this as a gift recently from Japan. So
Nice.
they're spicy though.
They are
They got a little
spicy.
bit of kick to them.
Not as bad as South Korea spice, but like it's alright.
Wow. I'm here for this. Imagine this with like a guacamole. Woo! I got it. The kick.
I'm
It's
incredibly
here.
hot for this. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, okay, I guess we'll do a rating then. So we're gonna put them up rating wise.
Oh,
Here's the spectrum.
Yeah. So this is the top end. That's top end. That's bottom end.
jeez.
That's at the end, I assume. Like, get that out of here.
Yes. There is a bit
Far
of
down
spice
there,
happening
that's
like
off
right now.
Yeah, yep. Yep, fair.
And then
Yep,
what do we
fair.
reckon here? I guess here is the battle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
top.
accurate.
Middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So there you go.
Nice.
So if you're
Absolute
in,
trash.
so number one from our taste test, cocoa curry chips, which you cannot get in Australia. Soz.
Flights
but
to
they're
Japan are cheap as hell
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
Like,
just
go to
$600
Japan.
bucks.
Although,
Yeah.
if you find them somewhere, send us a DM on New Game Plus TV,
Correct.
on Instagram,
Yeah,
Facebook,
perfect.
Twitter, anything.
Norishia, a good flavour, good solid.
Into it,
Yeah.
into it.
I guess a good representation of Japanese flavoured chips.
It wasn't big enough. That's my only complaint.
These are still okay. The Ozark
just
cheeseburger.
okay.
They got a little bit of pickle salt at the end. That's how they get the cheeseburger flavour. That's
That's
the
it.
Pringles thing. I like it obviously. And don't worry about the barbecue there.
Look, they're
stay
just
down
barbecue. Like they're not necessarily bad, but they're just like you don't go for Japanese chips and then you're like, oh,
It's not my go-to flavour.
It's just a whatever chip. Like,
So if you do want to see more of us trying these crazy things, I've got some more stuff in the bag, but we're
For
going to run
another
out of
episode?
time today.
What
next
is it?
time.
What is it? We're going to tease this
Okay,
the
you can't
topic?
tease it. I got lollies this time. This
Okay.
is the other one.
Excellent.
And then hopefully we've got some other stuff as well. So don't forget to check out NewGamePlus.tv. Very soon the Murasaki Gamu thing will go live. The domain and stuff
Website?
will go live. They should be live by the time you watch this, but if not, stay with New Game Plus TV and we'll announce it when it does. And thanks for joining us as always. See you next time.
It has been long established that shooters have always been a tour de force as a collective genre in the world of video games. While most developers of shooters like Call of Duty or Quake found a persistent user base in multiplayer and adapted their development approach to reflect that, id Software's Doom reboot dropped in 2016 and once again rocked the very foundations of Twitch shooters. With a core focus on intense gunplay and a sizable single-player offering, id seeks to double up on this mantra with Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal throws you right into the action under the helmet of the Doomslayer around 2 years after the events of the first game. Demons have made their way from Mars all the way to Earth, presenting an imminent threat to humanity. Once again, the Doomslayer takes up arms from a space station called the Fortress of Doom that orbits the war-torn planet and seeks out 3 Hell Priests to neutralize, who are orchestrating the bloodshed from all corners of the globe. So as you would expect, the stakes are much higher, and with the threat hitting home, the Doomslayer has several extra tools in his arsenal to rip and tear, and many ways to get around the game's expansive universe. Compared to the previous game, Doom Eternal sports some incredible vistas bolstered by its great art design. In Doom 2016, Mars looked the best it could possibly be, but its palette is limited to hues of red, orange, and a lot of steel. The entirety of Doom Eternal spans different locations and climates, each with their own distinct style and culture, well, once you wipe away all the blood and demon bits from the walls. Ammo, health, and armor pickups are easy to spot from a distance in the heat of battle as they take the form of neon colors, and ledges or boost pads that can be used during arena fights or platforming segments glow intensely, so you're never really stuck on where to go next. Even when you're not knee-deep in lava or radioactive sludge, you're treated to some great locales to climb and explore in between all the demon slaying you'll be keen to fit in. And when it comes time to rip and tear until it is done, you'll be left wanting to do it even more. The combat remains as punchy and in-your-face as ever, where gunplay and movement is smooth like butter and seamless as you rack up a hefty body count. To assist with navigating around the huge environments in the game, Doom Eternal sports a roster of different tools that are versatile in and out of combat. For example, the Super Shotgun has the Meat Hook, used for either exploring the nooks and crannies of the environment for secret areas or to get more up and close and personal with enemies. Flame Belch and Ice Bombs allow for damage to enemies over a period of time and are super effective in thinning out enemy numbers. A more in-depth vaulting system is implemented to around poles, ledges, and wall clinging, which works really well in the heat of battle and encourages the player to always follow the golden rule of Doom: always keep moving. Even with the additions, it has further tweaked a few of the existing systems to improve upon what Doom 2016 offered. Some fan-favourite enemies make a return to Doom Eternal, but have been amended to force the player to dispatch them in different ways compared to the predecessor. For instance, the Cacodemon can have a sticky bomb lobbed in their mouth, immediately marking them for a glory kill. The Mancubus and Revenant can have their ranged weapons shot off, forcing them to melee attack you rather than engage annoyingly from a distance. The list of enemy changes go on, but we don't want to spoil the surprise and challenge either. The general pacing of the game improves with some of the smaller changes. Chainsaw fuel, which is used to kill lesser enemies and produce more ammo drops, is still used and collected throughout the environment, but this time it slowly recharges over time, preventing cases where the player has enough resources to carry on even in some of the toughest skirmishes. The Sentinel crystal system powers your max health, armor, and ammo ratings, but adds specific perks tailored to the way you play the game, compared to the previous game where health, ammo, or armor ratings are predetermined depending on which one you acquire. So that way you can max out your ammo as quickly as possible if you prioritize it the most over health and armor. As there's a larger emphasis on platforming in Doom Eternal, falling from high ledges don't cause impact compensation or damage, and falling from cliffs result in small health penalties as opposed to instant death and forcing you to reload the latest checkpoint. The Doomslayer's arsenal also feels a little more fleshed out, as certain guns and mods have their own niche and they tend to work well depending on the specific enemy type you face or the situation. Using the Destroyer Blade Ballista mod is great for horizontal crowd control, and also for example the chain gun providing great versatility for both offensive and defensive situations, and well, the BFG, for when you've had enough of thinking and you want the whole demon race to go suck an egg. If there's one thing I can criticize about the ebb and flow of combat, is that skills can sometimes be too dependent on cooldown meters. Most of the focus on combat is already watching your health meter, armor meter, ammo count, and switching between each weapon so you're constantly running and gunning. Cooldowns affect almost everything in your arsenal, such as grenades, mods, suit upgrades, and air dashing, but even with a customizable UI that lets you keep track of these details, or omit them if you so prefer, the rhythm of gunplay can easily be interrupted when all of the cooldowns show up in all different parts of the screen at once, and at times it feels as if the developer perhaps added too much to the gameplay loop in fear of Doom Eternal feeling too similar to its predecessor, which is most certainly not a bad thing. While we were very keen to try out battle mode, servers weren't up at the time of this review releasing, so a proper review of Doom Eternal's asymmetrical multiplayer offering of pitting a Doomslayer against two demons was not possible. However, the weekly challenges applicable to campaign helps gain experience and unlock multiplayer items, along with the staggered series events will most certainly help in keeping the game in your regular rotation. As with most multiplayer games, it lives or dies based on its community support, which won't be quite apparent until after release, but it's at least commendable that id strayed from the beaten path a little compared to just shoehorning in a basic multiplayer mode. There are many other parts of the game I could wax lyrical about, like the procedural damage modeling on enemies, the customizable UI and field of view, the consistent frame rate, and the thumping electro-metal stylings of Mick Gordon's soundtrack, but quite honestly, I would highly recommend experiencing Doom Eternal for yourself. Even if you haven't played the 2016 reboot, Doom Eternal is a fantastic single-player experience that excels upon the foundations of the first game and is one hell of a ride. Once you hear BFG Division drop in the Demon Prison, you'll know exactly how good this game can get.
And that is it for this episode of New Game Plus. We hope you enjoyed and we hope to see you all next week. Don't forget to check us out at newgameplus.tv, New Game Plus TV at Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, all the usuals. You'll find us. And also, don't forget to check out Murasaki Gaming. If you can't spell it, just go to our the New Game Plus pages. You'll find it. We'll have links everywhere that you can check out and potentially, hopefully, you'll come and enjoy more of our weeby content. It's a good time for it. It's a good time to catch up on anime. It's a good time to catch up on those long-ass JRPGs that no one wants to play. No better time for it. So hopefully you enjoy our content. We will see you guys very, very soon. In fact, we'll hopefully see you next week.